Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Which families?
Muffins are, they say quick breads.
Quick bread.
That's
Hey yo, thank y'all for tuning in. This is live. We this is Type Beat. It's been a minute since we've been here, man. It's been
Yeah.
at least 5 weeks, something like that.
Damn.
So let me reintroduce myself. My name is I Make Mad Beats. You are live watching Type Beat, a producer podcast hosted here at the beautiful Outer Space, our studios. I am live with a cast behind me. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Yo, what up? LJ1S.
What's up, yo? It's Kang.
C major.
Kid Maestro. And the kid in the back.
Yeah. eating 3 or 4 muffins or cupcakes.
Or cupcakes.
Or cupcakes. Muffin
know.
cakes.
Depends on the coarseness of the crumb.
Muff cakes.
Cuffins. Cup.
Yeah, I got it. Let's move on.
like the croissant donuts.
Let's move on. Man. So yeah, it's been a minute. Really quick, let's do some quick rule setting and also explain why it's been a minute. We just celebrated 10 years of Unapologetic. We had to take some time to just focus on the celebration. Then we had to take some time to do some shows and recover from all of that. And so yeah, now we back live on Type Beat. We almost didn't make it today. One of our artists is performing at Cooper Young Fest, which because we're in Midtown, is right around the corner from us, so that's great. But we here today. We're here to discuss some cool things. One of the rules that y'all should know is simply, please feel free to engage and be a part of the conversation. We will stop what we are saying to engage with what you are saying to make sure you know you are a part of the conversation.
Amen.
All right? So feel free to leave a comment, say cap, use a cap emoji. You know what I'm saying? Particularly with these guys, because it's probably mostly cap. But with me, you probably won't really have to worry about that. So yeah, welcome to Tight Beat,
Use
man.
a helmet with this, man.
Damn, bro. Let me mute the
Hard
let me
cap.
mute this man's track.
Hard.
Let me mute his track. LJ,
Salary
what we talking
cap.
about? While I remove his microphone and turn off 48 volts.
Man, so wait, before we get into the topics, we have a guest here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to get into that. I thought.
My bad.
No, you're fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
man. Yeah, so tell us why you're here. Right? Nah, bro. Nah, I met this guy at U of M. University of Memphis is my alma mater, and sometimes I get invited back to speak, in some of the classrooms and just be involved close to some of the professors up there, and yeah. This guy, Kang, he keeps showing up, you know what I'm saying, in various dope capacities, you know what I'm saying? And every time, you know what I'm saying, I'm just, it's not that I'm impressed, but I am refreshed, you know what I'm saying, by the way you present yourself compared to a lot of your peers and a lot of your seniors as well, you know what I'm saying? And so when you hit me up and express interest to come through, it was an automatic yes, just about finding the right time, and the time is today. So yeah, man, give us a little bit of background of, you know what I'm saying, what you do, what's your relationship to music and production, how you end up at U of M,
Gotcha.
any of that.
Well, I'm from LA originally. I was born in San Francisco, raised in Los Angeles, like all over the city. My mom is a dancer and choreographer with like a PhD in dance history and theory. So I grew up in African drum classes and African dance classes. Like that's a lot of what I was doing when I started with music. I was playing the djembe. Then around 5th grade, I'm also a visual artist, so I've always been drawn too.
Nice.
But around 5th grade, picked up the violin. Around that time, 6th grade, I started doing online middle school because my mom didn't want me to go to the middle school in the neighborhood because she was like, "You gonna get into too many fights and all this other stuff." And I just spent a lot of time on YouTube watching like what do you call it? Like Ninth Wonder videos, like old Kanye videos with him with the ARS-10, like the 2000 XL. And then I watched this interview with Childish Gambino where he had the OP1 and that looper. And I was like, I need to know how to do this. Like I already did like a little bit of drumming on the tables with the pins and stuff. And I always wanted to be a DJ. So I just I got really serious about it in high school. I just kept looking for people who were doing it. And I met a friend. He would walk around with his Push 2 in his backpack with his laptop. And he showed me how to use Ableton, and it just never stopped from there. The way I got to Memphis was Jeff Corrin actually recruited me at the time.
Big shout out, Jeff.
Yeah, shout out Jeff.
South Memphis Jeff.
That's the GOAT. At the time, I was an art teacher, and I was trying to figure out how to take my career more seriously. I had this album that's recorded. I had released music. I've been producing for people. I was like kind of engineering here and there, but not doing it the way I was mostly tracking. Like I would tell people to their face, I'd be like, "Yo, dog, I'm not the guy to mix this." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I can record you. I got all the equipment to record you. I got the channel mixer. I got all that. We'll put a compressor on here and we'll just send it to the guy. Like, you know. So Jeff really
That's
interested
rare. I ain't
me.
heard that in a minute.
Yeah, like I was like, bro, I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. Like, you know, you send me $50, lob me a beer, and I'll record an album for you, bro. We'll be good.
$50 in the beer.
You know what I'm saying? That was my
The
price.
album.
So, yeah, I talked to Jeff about it, sent him some beats, sent him some stuff, because I went from like FL to Ableton to the SP404 to the MPC, and I've just been using the MPC for like the past 5 years for production, and I also rap, so I've been like, it really started as like, I want to be my own version of like Kanye. I want to be my own version of like, I want to be both Pete Rock and CL Smooth. You know what I'm saying? I want to be Q-Tip. You know, like I always recreate that. Yeah, bro, I grew up on Tribe, bro. My mom, bro, she only played Tribe, Farside, Souls of Mischief. Like that was her jam. That's what she was doing. And that's what she was listening to in the Bay.
Shout out to, as I was about to say, shout out to the mention of Farside and Souls of Mischief. Which, if those two show up together, you know somebody's from the other coast. Like, big shout out. Absolutely.
So that's my story, man. That's how I ended up in Memphis. Now I'm in the recording technologies program, just trying to navigate it correctly. Like, follow your advice, be around more. Follow Jeff's advice while commuting from Mississippi.
Yeah.
But everything requires sacrifice. So, and I've sacrificed a lot, and I feel like it all amounts to more now that I've been here longer.
How long you been here?
It's been a year now.
Man, it definitely feels
busy.
like it's been longer.
Man, busy in the year.
I'd be locked in, man. Because my granddad, he was like, because I live with my granddad, and he's a PhD in chemistry. So, like, collegiate stuff for the whole family. I was the black sheep for a while because I went to art school for a semester, didn't work out. I had to withdraw because of extenuating circumstances that were out of my control, and I ended up homeless. And out of pride, I was scared to tell the family. So I just, like, hustled, painted on cardboard, sold stuff here and there, would sell beats every once in a while, like on a busted laptop. And he told me, he was like, all of that grinding has given you this mindset that you need to apply to school. And if I don't see you applying it to school, like, he's like, if I see you chilling in my crib, bro, we gonna have a problem. Like, so that's why I'm always in Memphis. Like, he's never stressing about it unless it's about, like, my transmission, then he's like, bro, like, ease up, because it's my grandma's old truck. But, like, he's always like, he'll just call me and be like, all right, well, are you gonna be home tonight or tomorrow morning? And I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna be home tomorrow morning. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna put dinner in the fridge.
Man,
So, like, that's how I've been able to do so much and just focus in this 1 year.
I love that, bro. How did you get your name?
Kang?
Yeah. How did you choose that?
So my first rap name was The Mighty Conqueror, right? And I'm a huge Marvel fan.
The mighty what?
Mighty Conqueror.
Okay, yeah.
And I got that through the Wu-Tang name generator. I told my mom about it. I practice Ifa, right? I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's an old African religion from Nigeria, Yoruba, right? She told me that when I was born, they read my head something about a man of words that will come and conquer. And I was like, oh, I got to hold on to this name. So Kang was the production side, because Kang, the Mighty Conqueror, was like the full name, right? I got to talking to this producer over Discord who was like working with like Harry Styles on trumpet stuff. And he was like, also, it was hard for people to say my name on stage. And I would introduce myself to people in LA as Kang, because it was just like, that's easy. Like, I don't want to be called Conk or like,
Conk is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Someone did that.
You low key make me want to do that, but I'm not gonna do this. But
Like,
that's
bro,
crazy.
I had just met bro. I got off stage and he was like, yo, this Conk right here, man. And I was like,
That shit sound like you got to fight, bro.
So I was like, just call me Kang, because that's the tag. Like, the tag is like Iron Man from the Mighty Avengers saying, oh my God, it's Kang or something like that. Like, that was my old tag. Then I just changed it to him laughing, like Kang from this TV show. And I was talking to him on Discord, and he was like, you should just change your name to Kang. It's easier to spell. You spell it with 2 A's. It's the only thing that sets you apart. And, it's easy to remember. He's like, I don't even remember your stage name sometimes. I'll be talking about you, I'll say Kang, and people will pull up random stuff on Spotify, and I'm like, oh, let me text this guy and get his actual stage name. So that's how I ended up as Kang. But for like 6-7 years before that, it was just The Mighty Conqueror.
Bro, I am very conflicted about that story.
Me too.
Because it's like, I rock with Kang. I think that's a cool adjustment. You know what I'm saying? What I don't rock with is just like, hey, bro, I'm not finna say your name.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
I don't know if
Or like, I was at Bananas one night, and they were introducing me. This is like my 5th time at Bananas, and they were like, "Oh, here comes the Mighty Emperor," and I was like, "Bro, I know you, Verb. Like, I've been to your house, bro. Like, what are we talking about?" So.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying.
Hey, bro, I don't know. You know what I mean? But shout out to Kang. Shout out to you being here. You know
Appreciate
what I
y'all
mean?
for having me,
bro.
man.
Yeah, of course.
It's pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. All right, so the topics, man. We had Speed come through. Well, we didn't have Speed come through, but Speed came through to Memphis. And I was watching.
Who came through Memphis?
IShowSpeed.
All right, there you go. Yeah.
My bad.
Bro said Conk.
IShowSpeed, the streamer
Yeah,
pulled up, came through Memphis, man. And I was watching the stream, And I had some thoughts, and the thought is our streamers the new artists, and I say that the context I have from it was man, watching like Moneybagg like fan out in front of IShowSpeed. Like it's cool to show that, but I was just thinking like, you're Moneybagg, yo, this is your city. So it was an interesting dynamic, but also like, man, he couldn't be anywhere long. Like he went to it was Smackers, and like maybe 5-10 minutes he looked around, like the whole block is flooded with people stopping traffic and everything. And it just made me think like the influence that they have, like are they the new artists? Are they the artists in a sense of like just the influence and how much people want to be around them in any capacity? Then we also had a recent update come out with Spotify, their new terms. Some interesting language, I'd say. A lot of people have been talking about it, so we'll jump to that. But then I want to also talk about the importance of building a community. But yeah, man. But even before we really get started, man, how y'all feel, bro? It's been a minute.
Good, man.
I feel really good. I'm glad we got this episode in too, because I think I'm not gonna be here for the next one. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, bro, I could
Congo.
You know what I'm saying?
We're finna
couldn't
be.
go like eight months. You know what I'm saying? Without tapping in. So yeah, I'm just grateful to be here. Yeah, so. And I'm ready to hop into, you know what I'm saying, to the discussion.
Man.
You know what I mean?
All right, so IShowSpeed came through, and this is why I say I ask like, are streamers the new artists? Just the influence they have. Again, seeing this man like pull up in the city, and it seems like this is everywhere. I believe he went to China one time. He had like their whole community following him, and I haven't seen an impact like that, at least in my time, since like when it was known that MJ was pulling up to the city. So I don't know. Just thinking like, how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel they are the new artists, or is that just me? Just like I'm overthinking it. I'm tripping about it.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing that I'm not so sure about is the statement itself, like the new artist, right? As if whoever was the old artist is no longer the artist. You know what I'm saying? Right. Are they a new form of artist? Perhaps, yeah. A new form of like online streaming personality that not everyone can pull off. Yeah. And so you have to be artful in making that happen. Yeah, I think so for sure. But, and I want to, before this stream got started, I guess we artists because we streaming. That's crazy. It's crazy that we weren't artists until we turned on the camera. But one of the things we were saying before was that how, and I totally agree with what Kid Maestro said, is like, I think the biggest difference between like 600 people following Michael Jackson and 600 people following a streamer is that the 600 people following Michael Jackson wanted to see and touch and witness Michael Jackson. I think a part of the allure or the hype around following a streamer is knowing that hundreds of thousands of people are going to see you on their stream. Right? It is playing into what has become the biggest currency on the planet, which is attention and visibility. You just want to be able to, to say. It's like back in the day. Back in the day, if you went to a Michael Jackson concert, you took a picture of Michael Jackson. Yeah. Now when you go to a concert,
it's a selfie.
You want to make sure niggas see you and you was there. You know what I'm saying? It's different now. Yeah, it's about showing I was here to the people who are interested in me or could be interested in me.
Yeah, the proximity. It's an interesting jump because it's like literally witnessing people's desire to be close to power and influence. You know what I'm saying? Like, the closer you can get to his person, the more important you feel. You know what I mean? Like, literally, you know what I'm saying? You feel you're going to be less hype if you at the back of the mob than when you at the front. Just because, this is my moment. You know what I mean? To get something. And, I think that's a part of it. But I do want to just point out with Moneybagg, I didn't see the clip, so I'm just gonna take your word for it that he was like, oh my god. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna assume that was the vibe.
Man, it was just very cheesy and
But I rock with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with showing love, bro. Just because he's, who he is doesn't mean he can't, you know what I'm saying, still be a fan, you know what I'm saying, and show love at that level.
Yeah, he's still human.
yeah.
I think to Mad's point, I wouldn't call them artists. I kind of see what Mad's saying by like saying that statement. Are they the new artists? Kind of erases. I mean, there's some form of artistry behind what they're doing, but it kind of erases the concept in a way. I think they're the new celebrity for sure.
Yeah.
Like they've changed the
That's a
face
better-
of the way celebrity is viewed. You know what I mean? Like I remember like in middle
type of
school.
Celebrity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
This.
I remember middle school, Jonas Brothers huge. Like all the girls at at the Boys and Girls Club talking about, oh, this Jonas and that Jonas, like the Beatles, right? Like the way the Beatles were described. But with IShowSpeed, Duke Dennis, Kai Cenat, it's like it's very different. You know, I work in education right now, and I've had some students talk about these people like they're friends. You know,
My guy, I don't want to interrupt you, man. I just know my man C Mage is about to have to dip, so I want to get his comment in real quick.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I agree with what everybody said. I think definitely he's a new type of celebrity. What I think Speed shows me, the lesson I learned from him is, see, bro. Like, I think getting to where he is a testament of consistency and charisma, and what me and Kid was talking about this after the stream, because he's 100% correct. Now he is talented. He does have some
He's
sort
got
of
a lot of
talent, and
skill.
he got a lot of skill. He got a lot of charisma. But this is a business. If you get on this stream, this is your business card. These people weren't following after him just to take a picture. A lot of these people had businesses that they promoted. I got on the stream. We finna show that shit, and I'm finna use the fuck out of it. I'm finna use my man. I'm crazy. I'm finna use the shit out of this clip though. Like.
Bruh. Crazy, man. This man was literally cooking up the beats live.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
playing
saying?
that live.
With all the, bro, it felt like a boiler room. I don't know, bro. That was just something special, bro.
Yeah, it was a good
It
vibe.
was
Great
super
vibe,
special,
bro.
bro.
It was a great vibe, bro. It definitely from the Boiler Room videos I watched, it definitely felt like that vibe. It was cool too because I'm familiar with Memphis Jug, and I'm not familiar with our crews like that. But I don't think them two crews often work together. I don't think there's no beef or anything like that. But I just don't think that those two crews will be in the same spots together. And so it was dope to see all of them in one spot. One no ill will. We had the little boy dancing, the kid dancing. Like it wasn't nobody popped off with nothing. It was just a good vibe. Even before Speed showed up, like immediately, it was an amazing vibe, bro. And bro, I feel like the very secret sauce to Speed stream the niggas just don't see, bro. His security is like on point, bro. It's as far as like being security, but also like just vigilant. Like if it wasn't for them, like I wouldn't have got that moment. The security saw me, and you would see him do like a little. He saw me. He pointed at me. Then he was like big up, bro. I see you. Then he pointed to the other security. Then the other security hit Speed, and it was like, yo. And that's when Speed was like, oh, he doing this shit live. And so they really got like a basketball level point guard. Like it was. They ran a triangle. Like, all right, let's show this shit. And so
Military
Jackson,
training, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I just wanted to just say, man, great work on organizing that, man. And it was really dope how you pulled that all together.
And the beat smack, dog.
I appreciate it, bro.
Like for real.
It was,
Yeah.
Shit happened fast.
bro, hold on, before we even shout out to Kid, because it was so much stuff going on that I wasn't even thinking about the music. I just knew they needed PA, they needed speakers, and I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna have Dropbox. I got a bunch of beats on my phone to do something. The night before, Kid was like, hey, you should play live. So I was like, oh yeah, I can't do that. And so shout out to that nigga, bro, because I was not about to do that, bro. I don't know what I was gonna do, but it wasn't finna be that.
Shout out to that nigga for sure. So yeah, man, that was a great day, and yeah, it was like, they be talking about your 15 minutes of fame. That was at most how long that moment was.
Right. Y'all finna see that motherfucker for some years.
No, for real. About to get some placements off the IShowSpeed stream.
Man, that was fire. It was dope to see. First off, it was dope to see how all of it came together. Like from when you first announced that joint, like yo, I gotta figure this out. Then to pull it off, and then of course, like you said, salute to you to reminding him, which is crazy. Yeah. I definitely thought initially your mind was like, all right, I'm gonna play this beat or something. You
Bro, because that wasn't even the initial plan. Like so much stuff changed, and so yeah, it was just a lot moving. I was not focused on it, and so super appreciate having niggas around you. They can be like, no, nigga, this is what you do.
Yeah, man. Flex, nigga.
Facts.
So are streamers the new artists?
Nah, but a new
type of
new
celebrity.
type of celebrity.
for
Type
sure.
of celebrity though,
New type of celebrity.
But
I need that on a t-shirt.
they are very. I think artists and streamers partnering though is very fruitful. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we see that a lot.
Yeah,
Kai Sinai, he's always got somebody on his stream.
Same with Black Boy Max.
And there's other ways to do it, as we see with C Major and this. You know what I mean? Like, I think streamers, and because it's so 100% community oriented, that there is just so much mutual benefit because we're just gathering a bunch of people to come and not do anything really specific.
It's mutual benefit and very little effort. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're the level of a bag. Like, he was probably gonna get smackers anyway.
He good anyway.
Why not eat smackers with one of the most popular niggas in the world? Like,
it's just interesting seeing how that dynamic changed like over time. When like again, like you was bringing up, talk about Knife Wonder streaming, playing beats and stuff, to like now you have the artists showing up to these streamers platforms and like it becoming a mutual beneficial thing. I think it's dope. It's dope to see just again the evolution of streaming in general. Because I know myself, I never would have thought. And this was Alexis. She said something like she's like basically it's a virtual like friend. I never would have looked at it like that. I never even thought that would have been a thing. So to see that now and like people legit be just on your stream just to hang out with you and will watch you all day. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, IShowSpeed, he was on like a 24-hour.
he's on the whole month. He's streaming this whole month. and it's 24 hours this whole month. It's people like every night. It's like I've been saying this whole like it's 10K people watching this man sleep every night. That's the lowest his stream hitting. I think I saw like 5K one, never like 4 in the morning. Like he was sleep.
It's a wild like concept to just to think about.
It's cool, but it feels dystopian. You know, like. You feel me? Like the entertainment of watching someone sleep. Like I get it. Like you pull up to the city, we do like X amount of hours in the city, whatever city, right? Because it's supposed to be like 35 cities. But like watching a nigga sleep is crazy. Like
You know what though? Okay,
It's a super fan, man.
I agree. I just don't think that's what's happening. Man, I'm gonna say this. Like, yo, let me ask you this, right? If you walking past a club and the DJ is playing all of your favorite music, right?
yeah.
But there's nobody in there dancing, right? Do you hesitate to go and enjoy the music?
Yeah.
You do. Now, let's say you walk past and a DJ is not playing anything you're a fan of, right? But it's 500 people in there having the greatest time of their life, right? I think what's happening is less about what they're watching and more about the community of people that attracts, being able to communicate with each other,
Wow.
being in the same room together.
Yeah, because there's
That's
a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that's exactly it, bro. Is them 10K people like, and then what's the most brilliant part about all of this is when you pay to chat on there, it reads what you pay to say, and so all through the night he making money because people want people to read, like, and they just saying dumb shit. Some people promoting their business, like, crazy. And so that's 100%. And then on top of that, it's just regular people that's not paying it nothing at all, just talking to each other, saying dumb shit. Like, well, I'm up 3 a.m, I ain't got shit to do. Like,
the short time that I was watching, how they would try to figure out how many hours they've been watching. So on Twitch they put I something, and then on YouTube they put I hours or something like that to see how many hours they've been watching. And I was like, this is the craziest shit, and it was popping up like astronomical ass numbers, like 19 hours and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Right. Yeah. That was a thing I was gonna point out. Is I feel like I think there's just so many elements of human psychology just all working together really well at once. Because if you had been watching the stream for 10 minutes, then whatever. But you get to up to 12 hours, now it's a thing. You're like, you want to see how far you can go. You know what I mean? Now you're being competitive. Now you have your own challenge of how long can I stay locked into this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
This is so wild.
That's 1,000, bro. I mean, yeah, I I'm gonna say this swiftly, and this actually is a perfect segue into another topic, but I'm gonna fall back. I was watching this show called Halt and Catch Fire, and the show is about a small computer company trying to compete with IBM and Mac in the 80s. And they had built this game, and they spent a lot of time programming and designing this game. And in that game, they made a chat room. And, after like a month or so of this game being out, they realized that like most of the people were just going to the chat room and not playing the game. And they looked at that as like a flaw in the game. Before they realized, like, no, wait a minute. People just value community more than these games. Right? Now, you got to look at it. This is the early to mid-'80s that they're making this, that's the time zone of the show. And so how did the internet take off? Did the internet really take off because of websites? Or did it take off because of chat rooms?
Yeah, AOL.
It's community. It's community, bro. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? And when you can build a platform where it's not only community, but it's also visibility, you can charge for that. And that's what he's doing.
It's the new wave. The new wave of community, man. Speaking on
type
community.
of community.
Yeah. We talk about community all the time, but I just want to talk about like the community we're building and the importance of the community.
Type shit. Before
I
y'all
want you
have
to say thanks.
And I heard you. I heard you. It was two though. It was two. But I was like, I was also thinking about bro for the lean. So let me.
It hung there for a second.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I'm trying to Chris
That's how we do it. You know. That's how we
that's
move.
the D-Wade.
Yeah, but
Peace out.
I know, bro.
You dipping C major?
Dipping my bad.
Everybody say bye, C major.
Bye, C major.
W's in the chat stream.
Well, yeah. So
Oh, yeah, we got that now.
speaking of the community, man, I know C Major has a deal, but I guess I want to speak to Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got some things coming up. Yeah. So
Kid, you mind sitting right here? Just to
I hate this stool, y'all. I don't really want to do this at all.
Instantly.
I hate this stool.
it's that ultimate, bro. It's that ultimate posture check. Yeah.
Let's go.
But yeah, so yeah, well first off, in general, like unapologetic does not exist without a focus on building community. Like that was the whole point, is that, you know what I'm saying, you know, Mad specifically was noticing a demographic of people who were similar in the way they thought and what they appreciated, that all felt like they didn't have a community, right? And was having these isolated conversations of those people complaining about that and saying, yo, I got to find community by doing either two things: leaving, right?
Yep.
Or changing fundamentally, you know, how they present and who they are,
Right.
and what they participate in, just to have community, right? And it was like, nah, there's more people like you all just don't know about each other, right?
Yeah.
And so out comes unapologetic, right? And that's why it was important. Like that was our unique positioning, you know what I'm saying, and our value to this city was a community offering.
Right.
You know, and in that we can have different ways, different offerings within that community. We got music, we got clothes, we got events, we have stories, you know what I'm saying? We have philosophy, you know what I'm saying? We've got technology, we got all of these things, we got entertainment, all with like-minded people. And that's why we're here. And so I feel like everything we're doing are just offshoots of that, or niche versions of that. Speaking of which, man, me and C Major, we learned this. I think our first real experience with this outside of Memphis, or outside of the ecosystem of the things Unapologetic was producing,
Right.
was when we started doing beat battles in St. Louis. Shout out to Fresh Produce.
Big shout out Fresh Produce.
Shout out Matt. Shout out DJ Who. There was a beat battle series that had been going on for, you know, a while, every month in St. Louis, and Pro, Awfum, myself and C Major, we had gone down there already to perform, right? And then when we were down there, the homie Hal was like, "Yo, you should get involved with the beat battles out here." And so C Major signed up, and then I signed up as well. And we went down there, and, you know, long story short, C Major like won 1 billion of those, you know what I'm saying? I won one. But all the times that we were going back and forth, we were running into, first of all, like supremely creative people. You know what I'm saying? People that we could see eye to eye on, right? And have mutual respect for the craft, right? There was community in that. There was community in the way we thought, right? And they were just good people, community and kinship in character, right? And so we were building that, right? And it got to the point where I'll never forget this moment, bro. We went out there, like we from Memphis, like we don't live there. We be down there for a day or two at most. At this point, we went down there, and we were walking down the street to an event for J.E. Shout out to J.E. by the way.
Big shout out J.E.
Down the street, and literally, bruh, people were like honking and stopping the car as they were driving, like, "Yo, C Major, kid," you know what I'm saying? They was like really, like they really knew us and were real fans.
That's wild.
And it was a mixture between like familiarity, fandom, and like homies, like all just like You know what I'm saying? Like we was walking down Central or something.
Right,
you
right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? And it was just crazy. It's like, wow, we have a real community. And that was the moment we realized the importance of that, because then we were able to double down on that. We did more shows.
Right.
We brought Offham and Pro back more. You know what I'm saying? Like we had C Major and I did shows out there, like all just because we had a community, and we just win again. You know what I'm saying? Every time we go out there, we meet new people. People are trying to introduce us to more because we have a community, right? And if you don't do that, if you go and just try to present, right, without any sort of consideration for the environment you're in or the people you're speaking to, I'm not saying you don't gain any forward movement, but it's slow and it's not as impactful, right? And I think the example is that, like, you can post up a flyer, right, and however many people will show up, but if you are consistently showing up with people and talking to them like a stream.
Yeah, good connection. Yeah,
We just saw this.
Yeah,
We just saw it. You know what I'm saying? You doing that over time, like, so it's all about building community, and so I'm excited. We are actually bringing St. Louis fresh produce to Memphis in November. So it'll be Unapologetic presents fresh produce, and it'll be the first version of that beat battle that C Major and I grew from as producers and, you know, just creatives here to this community. And I'm so excited and really proud to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, sign up. You know what I'm saying? It's very competitive. Only eight producers will be selected, but it is a $500 cash prize. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, y'all know y'all need that money. This shit been crazy. You know what I'm saying? I know you need 500. I know you got beats that at least you think is dope. You know what I'm saying? We gonna find out how dope they really are. You know what I'm saying? Sign up, be a part. I just want to shout out something too, man. And this is something I'm gonna shout out as, like, I guess some big homie vibes, right? I just want to shout out C Mage and Kid Maestro for even going up to St. Louis and discovering all of this. Yeah. Because it's really easy. And I'm gonna be real with you, you know what I'm saying, Kang? Like, this is something that this is something I think about when I look at University of Memphis students, right? And just students in general, right? Because there's really two lanes of, like, people who are interested in working with Unapologetic who are in that age range. There's, like, people like Kid Maestro, right? Coming through a school pipeline of, like, rec tech or some sort of music program, right? And then there's just people like me who just love music more than breathing, you know what I'm saying? And you just are dedicated, you know, at an extreme level, right? But I find that the people like me are significantly more likely to take risks, right? Yeah. I find that people who coming out of school programs, they're used to being taught in safe and comfortable environments, right? Yeah. I'm just being honest.
No, it's a controlled environment.
I'm just being honest. Like, most of the time when I see students come out of college, they are academically prepared and socially not prepared for this world, right? They don't understand hustle, grind. They don't understand taking initiative. They don't know teaching themselves or setting themselves up to learn in a way that doesn't require a teacher, as well as hustlers who are just off the street. Yeah. Now, what the hustlers off the street lack is, like, the etiquette of internships, like structure, understanding the dynamics of these spaces. They just want to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so there's pros and cons on both sides. But the thing, you know, both him and C Major, you know, went to college. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the thing that I super admire about leaving here and then going up to a whole different place to create and to build community in a different city with different people is I find that, like, people generally like to stay close to the nest, right? They like to be around people who have a reason to show them love, not a stranger who has no reason to show you any love. In fact, might even diss you because you're not from there,
Yeah.
Definitely seen that.
right? That takes a lot of courage to leave the nest completely, be surrounded completely by strangers, and then compete. You know, things like that, that's rarer than you would think. People don't, that's outside of comfort zones in a way that I think stagnates a lot. And so anytime I'm looking at like, you know, University of Memphis students, like somewhere in the first 10 questions, I'm gonna ask you, what'd you do that was not on campus? Right?
No.
Did you let teachers and administration and previous people, you know, guide you through this process, or did you go out there and create something on your own? Because that's who you got to be to survive in this.
Yeah.
That's just who you got. That's not my opinion. That's
That's just the truth.
just the truth.
That's just the truth.
Man, going back to the the battle that's coming up, Fresh Produce, like this is also history. This is their first one in Memphis, correct?
Yeah, I don't think this is the first time I think they've left St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like there's not like a, you know, Arkansas version or nothing like that. But this was just built because, you know, we was going out there so much and just had a great relationship with Matt Sawicki and DJ Who run and host this thing. And yeah, man, it's just dope. And
cool.
so yeah, when we were out there on tour during the Weirdly Luxurious tour, we performed at the Platypus, and then we heard that DJ Who was DJing down the street. So we walked down there and said what up. And you know what I'm saying, that we already wanted to bring it down to Memphis at some point. Right? But you know what I'm saying, just going down there and getting like a face-to-face handshake situation just kind of solidified it, and then we just got it moving.
That's so dope.
Yeah, bro, it's super dope, man. Like, I can't really, I don't feel like I'm accurately describing how much growth came from doing those beat battles.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me specifically, one of the first beat battle, I wasn't excited, you know what I'm saying, about the idea initially of entering, because, you know, I feel like I was self-aware enough to know that my style, I didn't feel like that leaned towards like beat battle kind of clashing. I just didn't feel like at that time, this 2018.
Yeah, there's definitely like a beat battle uniform too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this dramatic
Different changes.
you know what
The
I'm saying?
producer
Like-
type beat, you know,
Right.
like you making beats for other producers, trying to.
That's it. Yeah.
Because I have a friend who does clashes in the UK, and like he'll show me these. He'll spend days on them, and he low-key does not enjoy any of that process. Because he's like thinking about, oh, if I roll this 808 up into this octave and then back, you know, like. But then some of his favorite beats took him like 20 minutes. And it's 'cause it was just
Simple.
a vibe.
Yeah,
It's definitely a difference.
there was just like I don't know, there was like an insecurity and just like, yo, my stuff is not for this space. You know what I'm saying? I think that self-awareness, but if I'm being honest, like, it was important that I did sign up because I also felt like I was just like kind of hoeing out. You know what I mean? Like, I think there is still like that level of competition that if my guy C Major is taking risks and doing stuff, like even if I personally feel like he's more set up to succeed in that world than me, like, he's going for it. I just couldn't not do it. There's just something about, that's another thing with community, man. It forces you to be aware of a standard. It forces you to be aware, to have a mirror at all times, because the people that you're around are going to reflect, you know, the good and the bad in you. And I felt like his initiative in signing up for that and taking that opportunity versus my lack of initiative or my level of initiative in that was something I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? So I signed up, and, you know, what I did was, like, you know, I told myself, you know, what I wanted to, the growth I wanted to have was believing that who I am and my perspective is valuable and worth it. You know what I'm saying? And is a perspective that'll be unique. So, you know, I cooked up a joint, you know, got past the first round. You know, that was a dope moment. But what I did in the second round.
Oh, really, really quick. My man Digger said he might hop in the battle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Please do that. You know what I mean? Because it's it's gonna be crazy. And you know what I'm saying, 500.
My bad. I just remembered something. Hey, yo, Digger, Dante, I left the X at the crib. I'm supposed to be giving him back. He let me. All right, for everybody, my bad, family. For everybody watching, I had to do the Unapp 10 celebration. I had 2 NPC X's.
Damn.
I had one on the, for the actual performance, and then one when we was up top. And I got the second one from my man Dante, aka Digger. Big shout out to Digger, who in the chat right now. And I regret to inform you, my G, I forgot it at the crib. You know,
as he's on his way, he like,
this live TV, John, this is crazy, bro.
My bad, Brody.
I feel like I'm on a phone call. Like,
part of the interruption.
But yeah, so my second beat, I went extremely Kid Maestro, like, whatever Kid Maestro meant at the time. Right. And at the time, like my whole thing that I was kind of exploring was, the best way I could describe it was like inside joke beats. So
that's it.
So basically it would just be like, if we were to come up with some sort of inside joke, like laugh at something obscure, you know what I mean? Like what I would do is sample that and be living off of the humor that we developed in that doesn't necessarily, like, it's not universal, so it might not easily as translate, but it's hilarious to me, you know what I'm saying, and it's hilarious to you,
right?
Because you got the context. I played a beat that basically was like that, and it was the opposite of beat battle format. It was the most smooth. I sampling Usher, like
sampling Usher in a beat battle. What?
That's so crazy.
Wild. And I'm like, yeah, the audience will get it. They'll find this funny too. And, it's like a character move. And you just did not work out. You know what I'm saying? I learned that lesson. And
these are the moments I'm glad I was not around. You know what I mean? Shout out.
You know the place of your audience.
Gotta read the room.
Right. That's, should have did. I learned that lesson. You know what I mean? And, just watch, and then being a fan and just watching C Major and the other people, I was like, okay. I still didn't give up though. I was like, I need to figure out how to be me in this space, right? And I got in the lab and I worked on it, and some months later competed and got my own championship out of that jump. And that was a moment for me because I did not feel like I was cosplaying something, you know what I'm saying, to win or to exist in the space. I learned how to bring my perspective and adjust to the room I'm in. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's important. You know what I mean? To learn who you are and develop it enough to where you can value it wherever you're able to see how to show up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of pretending.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I think. To touch it to community a little bit, like I think that's what's really important is like knowing how to like, oh, this is how y'all getting down, right? Like let me figure out how I put my spin on it now. Yeah. And it like really teaches you a lot. That's why I'm learning a lot in Memphis, cause like y'all know Nick Black, right? Yeah, Nick Black. I was showing him a beat and he was like, "This is the most Memphis sound you've ever shown me." But it's because I be kicking it with Christian Gates, who works underneath Zerk and like hangs out with a lot of old producers from 3-6 Mafia, and I'll be listening to his beats, and I'm like, these are crazy. Like I love Memphis beats; they're so crazy. So I'm like, how do I put my spin on it? How do I put a little West Coast on this pattern? And I think I don't know. That's what's important about those situations, is that exercise, that growth.
Man, speaking on like just touching on in both of the past topics, as far as like building the community. It was also something Mad mentioned too when he was talking about the game and stuff. The movie he was watching where they thought something was wrong with the game, but it was more about the chat.
Right.
I just want to dive into that in a sense of like, we have all these social media platforms now, and it's getting to a point where like you rarely see your friends, the people that you're trying to build the community with. But being that we are a community, building a community, still building. We've been having updates with the app a lot lately. When I say we, I say Mad. In the sense of now, is it live now?
All right, so Let me do a soft,
Yeah.
soft launch beta test, John. So, some of y'all might know, some of y'all probably don't know, especially because this is going to go up and be chopped up and all that other stuff. In 2017, we launched the Unapologetic World app. It's an app that I programmed and coded myself. And yeah, in it was, of course, things like all of our music videos, things we thought about, any exclusive drops, exclusive songs, a store, like all the things that we would use to define the unapologetic world that things like social media would not allow us to do, right? And then for us to own the platform, right? And since then, we've had thousands of downloads, and it's been dope. However, what I have known was missing since 2017 was one of two things: a message board or a chat room, right? Because what I told y'all about this show and community's importance, I've known this the entire time, right? And so in the last month or so, I've really gotten a chance to jump back into it and begin to move some things around. And so if you're watching this, if you get a chance to watch this, just know the Unapologetic World app is live now, and currently we are beta testing the new custom designed message board inside of it.
Let's go.
Crazy.
Let's go.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's
also,
crazy.
if y'all don't know, that's what I went to college for, was programming. I'm glad I get to use that degree for something, because I've just been a musician this whole time, and sometimes I felt like I went to college for nothing. But that's what I am. I've been a programmer since for a long time, and so now I'm adding this custom message board. This is not some copy and paste ass message board. I'm literally designing it myself and making sure that it works seamlessly with the Unapologetic World app. If you want to lock in with us, go ahead and get the app. In the menu, you'll see message board. There you can talk with us. You can talk with other people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've already had one-on-one chat in the app since day one. Right? So since 2017, you've been able to get the app and chat one-on-one with any other app holder. Right? Now, with a message board, we have our own Reddit. We have our own Facebook. And of course, I'm going to continue to build onto it. Before you lock in there and you don't see all the special stuff, it's because, like I said, this is still in beta mode. We're still building it now. But it functionally works. You could tap in there with us. And I'm going to tell you 1,000%, man. I'm going to keep it all real. Kang, you getting this live from me. You getting a lot of the stuff that I say to them and don't say to everybody else. Right?
It's a blessing.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Anybody watching and listening, look, I'm gonna get 1 million people hitting me up and asking me for something, right? That's just what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? All right. I do make decisions based on how deeply you know our world. I should, right? It should feel like you're familiar with us and me before you knock on my door and ask me for something and you don't know shit about us. Right? Okay. How do you show that you know? How do you join the world and actually become a part of it in a way that shows, oh wow, I am actually interested in this world. I'm not just looking for something transactional. I am sincere in my dealings of wanting to know more about the Unapologetic team. I'm going to tell you the best way to do that. Number one, get the Unapologetic World app. It's free. It's about 80-something megabytes, maybe 90 at this point. And in it, you can communicate directly with me via one-on-one chat, and now you can hop on a message board and communicate with all of us. Right? Right. So let me tell y'all another thing. I don't keep no notifications on my social media. If I did, I'd go insane. Y'all DMing me all the time. The crazy thing is that some of y'all actually got my number, and you still hit me up on social media and then wonder why I don't respond. It makes me think like your interest in me, it's like you don't recognize there's a lot of other people, right? And if I left the notifications on, I would go insane, right? So sometimes it takes me a while to see what you say to me. However, if you hit me up on the app, that's different. We take you seriously. If you have my app, that shows me oh wow, this dude really cares. This person really listens. Is really paying attention. Let me see what this person is saying. Right? And when y'all hit me up in other places, I get to it when I get to it.
Get to it when I get to it.com.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. No, I was just saying that in the class I came recently. It's like, we have, people that come through and apply for the internship because
They don't know anything.
Oh my
they'll
God.
be like, yo, I just need an internship or whatever. I heard about y'all from my teacher.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I just immediately applied. You can do no research,
Yeah.
then look up. Don't know who I Make Mad
Don't know
Beats is.
all of that.
Don't
Like,
know,
bro,
like
hey, look,
don't know who I am.
it'd be
It's like,
so
like,
wild.
I went to the Dilla Day, and at that point, Jeff Korn and I had been talking about y'all for a minute. He was like, "You got to meet Kid. You got to meet Matt. You got to meet Pro.
Big shout out,
You
Jeff.
got to meet Off Him, right?"
Yeah.
I recognized him in the parking lot.
You
Bro
did
was
that.
walking. Mad was walking to their
That's
car
facts.
to get something. I was like, "Oh my God, you mad Beats."
Facts.
And I was like, "Bro, you got the
That's
NPC
facts. I
tonight?"
just
Like,
remembered that. That's
yes,
facts.
bro. Like, and then like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not even off of some transactional. It's like the way y'all describe the world y'all created, the community you created. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, there might be others out there. Y'all the world that I want to participate in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I don't really make juke music. You know what I'm saying? I don't really make hardcore. I can make some trap, but it's not gonna be, all that. I make like some weird in between of stuff. I be putting African rhythms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I go and listen to y'all stuff. Jeff Korn was like, "Oh, y'all go listen to this." I'm like, "I'm gonna listen to him, bro. He works for Lettucey. Like, that's crazy." And I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I hear that dedication. I hear that, not a desire to be different, but just a desire to continue to be yourself. You feel me? And if you don't recognize that world, and you just like, "Hey man, I just want to, can I get something from you?" And it's like, what are you trying to get out of it? Becomes a question. Like that happens to me a lot in LA, where they're like, "Oh, bro, this 808 hit in this one time." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And they're like, "Let me get a beat," and I'll send them like, I'll be like, "Oh, let me play some stuff," and I got like some Jay Dilla inspired or some MF Doom inspired drums going on. And they're like, "Where's that 808?" And I'm like, "Well, have you been to my SoundCloud? Like, this is mostly what I be doing. Sometimes I throw an 808 on the sample, But like, it's weird. Like people don't really, they're not aware. I think is the thing. I think is the thing. Yeah. Like.
I'm gonna tell you something else too, man. This is something that I find, and this I'm hoping that whoever watches this informs you in a way that solves some of the problems of getting to where you want to go. Right? One thing that I noticed though about people, and it took me a while to really notice this, is that the depth in which people will learn about you before engaging with you, right? It's often in a way measurable or proportional to the depth in which they know themselves, right? And so, like the reason why you could be a conductor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they come up to you and they expect
Yep.
the reason why they might, even though that sounds crazy, right? Is because they don't know what they want. And in some way, they're just looking at themselves as, I'm a rapper, not a specific kind of rapper.
Just a
So
rapper.
so they
That's
can't look at you as
Yeah.
a specific kind of producer.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to be a producer.
You're supposed to be able to just do whatever.
Exactly. Right? They don't have a brand.
Yeah.
So they don't expect you to have a brand. Right? Like the depth in which they are approaching you is the depth that they've explored themselves.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
You know?
That's the bar.
yeah, a lot of people too are like, a lot of people will just in that same world are like, they're too lazy to actually look for what they do want, because sometimes they do, but they're just like, they look at you as a means to an end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Yo, can I just come to you, and like if I already rapped on some joints on YouTube, can you just like give me this vibe?"
Yeah.
Not knowing, just because I said I'm a producer, not knowing if that's a joint. That happens a lot, and I always, before I work with anybody seriously like that, I always say, yeah, well, before I work with anybody, like we need to have a conversation to figure out if I'm even the right type of
Exactly.
Yep.
fit for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not gonna waste each other's time.
Every time, man.
I agree, man. So going back to what Matt was saying about like people not knowing their brand, or what their brand is or what it looks like. In this sense, it seems like people who know their brand are having an issue with Spotify. So Spotify has updated their.
You know what be the most interesting part of this? It be the way he be like, all right, let me end this conversation
I be having
in this
trying to
moment
hear it.
so I can get it in. You know what I'm saying? Before it goes somewhere I can't transition.
Bro, I've had those moments for sure. I've had those moments. But yeah,
that
so
was give me this shit. You know what I'm saying?
so Spotify updated their new terms, for if you update to their platform and stuff. And a lot of artists, they're feeling the way about it. I wouldn't say I did like an in-depth dive into it, but I read into it, and from what I've read so far, so there's pros and cons. They're creating a new system that will basically improve the remixing process, for the DJs and the playlists and stuff like that. But a lot of people are upset with the fact that it's going to involve a heavy use of AI in the sense of curating these playlists and stuff of that nature. But a lot of people are upset based off of what I've read. A Spotify platform, they will be making derivatives of your work in a sense of like the artwork, mashups and stuff like that. But the part that I read, and I think a lot of people are having an issue with, is that the original creator of this art, they won't receive like any royalties. They don't necessarily have a say so. You can't really opt out if you're on Spotify. But from what I've read with this platform, the tool that they're creating in general, it will help protect you from outsource external uses of AI. So it's kind of like, yeah, we protect you from this, but if you're on our platform, we get to use it. And I'm not sure how I feel about that in the sense of the art space, because I think C Major made a key moment earlier when we were talking about this, about like, that's pretty much, I think you said it too as well, kid, but that's pretty much every platform. And I thought about like even social media, Facebook, stuff like that, like there's definitely been discussions of like Facebook using your likeness for whatever they want on their platform. But with this one, I don't know if it's because I am an artist, if it bothers me a little bit differently in a sense of like, if Spotify use your artwork or your song or whatever and create a mashup, a remix, a derivative on their platform, they basically, you don't have a say so if you want this to happen, and you don't receive any type of compensation for it.
Yeah, from what I was reading too, that there is a like ambiguity in terms of like what they can do with AI.
Yeah.
But what I did read that there's no explicit monetization of those like terms. You know what I'm saying? So they're not monetizing these features, and then you're not getting compensated.
Right.
That from what I read when I looked it up, there's that. So there's not like a exploitation in that direct way happening. And then, when I was watching somebody discuss this on YouTube, they kind of broke down like where these types of terms like come from. And, it was basically like when you would have your song on iTunes, right? You needed to give the platforms rights to be able to create derivatives of work of your stuff, when they needed to, because they needed to make a shortened version of your song for the preview. You know what I'm saying? Like that's technically a copyright infringement if they don't have permission. Like even that, obviously at this point we don't think of that as an infringing upon rights, like an egregious infringement, but it's for that kind of stuff. And so like if Spotify is going to offer like subscribers the ability to like mute the stems of like songs and make their own mashups in the platform, right? You need permission to for the platform and its users to be able to create derivatives of your work. Like that's just you just
basic
need
law.
that to be able to happen. Now, in terms of like being able to opt in and opt out, like one, we as artists don't, as far as I'm knowing, we don't have any direct agreement with Spotify. We have an agreement with our distributors, who then have an agreement on our behalf, right, to Spotify. So we've given up our rights to our distributors. So if anything, I feel like we need to be, if anybody's mad about that, it's the distributors that we need to be upset with, because
That's a real.
Because they didn't disseminate that information.
because we didn't sign up for anything with
Right. With Spotify.
And like in the era of click a button and distribute yourself, or distribute through without the machine of the label, it really is on like Untitled, like what was it called, United Masters. It's on DistroKid, it's on CD Baby to like give us that option to opt out. Because Spotify's gonna do what Spotify gonna do, right?
It's
Like
their platform.
It's their platform, and you make a good point. But I think for me, I want to opt out of that. I don't think it's necessarily. It feels like a blind side from what I've read. You know, like it's buried in there from what little articles I've read. Jeff brought it up in class, and I started reading about it, and then he said something important. I had to start taking notes again, but. From what little research, I'm gonna do some more. It just doesn't seem like they wanted it to be that known a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. From the article I read on that, I think it was like Rolling Stone
about the new features, or about the update of
about
the
the updates of the terms. It didn't feel like it was like surface level like some of those updates. You know, like sometimes like with Threads, right? When they announced that you can't, once you associate these accounts, the only way to unassociate these accounts is the deletion of both, right? And then they updated the terms, and there was anything you post as intellectual property is now the intellectual property of Meta, right? And stuff like that. It's creating this weird space as digital artists where that's our direct to consumer path, outside of physical media.
Right.
It's like you are purposely trying to fuck with our money in a weird way, is how I view it. Because you can't. I was gonna say this earlier, right? And C Major was like, "Save it." But you can't walk into an art gallery and remix a piece that's on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that. That's just not how that works. Like you came, you paid your ticket to see that piece. If you want that piece, buy that piece, right? That's usually how that transaction goes. But never in there is there like an agreement with the like when I throw an art show, I'm not running through 5 people to get to the gallery. Agreement wise, but when I release a song, I got to talk to DistroKid, I got to talk to these people, I got to talk to that people, I got to talk to this people, and then in that process, somehow by the time it ends up on a store,
but I think that's, I feel like I you're 100% right, but I think that most people like I don't know how to avoid this, but it feels a lot of times like we just don't really be acknowledging that we want to take advantage of work that other people have done.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Without having to give something for it.
Bro, I was waiting. I was letting everybody finish, bro. I was letting everybody finish.
Because I recognize that. Like I sample a lot, but I've gotten into the mindset of like, especially working and now having that music. Because I'm 27, right? So like when I figured out how to sample, it was like 10 years ago. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was just throwing shit on SoundCloud, right? And then I got a strike. I got a copyright strike around like 19. And I was like, oh, what? What are you talking about? Like, this is hip hop. But like, I read up on copyright law. So that's why I'm like, if you're going to sample, like, you say you drop something.
Right.
They do the remix on Spotify. That's not going to just stay native in the app. People are going to sound or screen record. There's going to be some way it gets out. And if you don't have the rights to copyright strike that thing, then what was the point of making it? I can't sample an obscure band from 1962.
Well, one, in your example, that would be copyright infringement. That you absolutely have the rights and the ability to seek legal, what I'm saying, repercussions for.
That's it.
Like, so, in specifically in that example, like if you do something, because the terms is that you can do this in app, right? But as soon as you make a copy, an unauthorized copy, and then distribute said unauthorized copy, so that is a different copyright infringement that you don't have
That's in there.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
that would be in there. I mean,
Gotcha.
that's already illegal. Like if you
Yeah.
just screen record a song out of Spotify and then post it on YouTube or wherever, that's copyright infringement.
Okay.
But that
In
makes me
general.
think like, in that case, would you have the right to sue, or would that be Spotify?
Spotify's right.
Because
'Cause that's-
technically that's a Spotify version.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking.
I can sue, and maybe Spotify too because you broke their terms
Their
of service,
terms.
terms of agreement by creating an unauthorized copy of the music on their platform, right? It's piracy basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I was getting at earlier is just that like what I mean by take advantage of work other people have done, let's take Spotify or let's take Meta for example, Instagram, whatever. Instagram has built a platform and brought together like millions of people across the entire globe, and has created a space where regular people without any money can communicate messages, music, and products to those people for like almost no money, right? We want to be able to take advantage of that without giving up any sort of leverage of that. And that is like really just kind of entitled and naive, you know what I mean?
I
Like
see it.
and I know it may be uncomfortable to think about like, oh man, Instagram can like create an ad with something that I made and post it on their platform.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just using that as a blank example of maybe that isn't right, but I do think that it's like reasonable because you always have the option to opt out, but nobody really wants to do that because they know they're going to lose that access, right? And so what they'd rather do is say, hey, platform that you created that I'm using, change how you operate.
So I can
You know what I'm
benefit.
saying? So I can feel comfortable about how I'm doing this,
Right.
as opposed to being like, hey, I don't like how you're operating. I'm going to do my own thing because that is infinitely harder. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know about infinitely,
if
but it's a lot harder to build a platform, right? And then get other people off that platform to come to your world where you have more control about. Ain't no remixing, ain't no stems. You know what I'm saying? But everybody wants to be on Spotify.
Yeah.
Because there's a curated space. And I think that I'm using that example as like a frame of thought of just like, hey, like you can't have everything for nothing.
Yeah, you have to trade something.
That's real.
It's equal exchange. So I guess I asked that question of like, how do we view this as equivalent exchange? Is this technically equivalent?
I think that's for you to. I think that's for you to determine personally.
Yeah.
You have to, because there will be people who are gonna feel like, oh yeah, that's cool. Engage with my music, remix it, take the stems out.
Yeah.
If the more you're listening to it, the more you're allowing me into your world, the better. And so there are gonna be people who have no issue with that, and there are gonna be people who feel like how you feel, which is like, hey, like you can't go into a gallery and start, tracing this and and coloring and putting your spin on it. No, like this is what it is. And so a platform that allows people to do something you fundamentally don't agree with, like I'm saying that like we have different baselines of what's equitable and fair exchange, right? Based off of the use. And so I think it's for each individual entity and artist to figure out what they are comfortable with for their brand and life they want to have, right? And put actions towards that. And sometimes that means you don't upload your music to Spotify.
No.
And you got to build out your website, and you got to push people to Bandcamp, and you got to get them to pay for it because they can only stream it 3 times before it says, hey, no more streaming. Like you got to build those systems, right? And then sometimes you got to sacrifice in order to leverage systems other people have built to bring them over into your world if you're smart about it.
I want to hear what Matt thinks about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, this is all world building, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I'm going to skip the long ass story about, my life and how I came to these conclusions. But I'll just say this, everything, I couldn't agree more with everything the kid said. It's it's tricky because that's just how I've always done things, man. Like I've always valued ownership. I've always valued being able to curate an experience specifically and in a detailed way that's unique to myself or my company, right? And those things come with the responsibility of, well, in order to make things specifically and uniquely the way I want them, I have to build it.
Yeah.
Right? And that there's only so much customization possible in somebody else's house. Right? But sometimes these other houses, they're so accessible that people forget this is somebody else's house. This is not a community space. They might tell you it's for the community, but somebody owns this and it's not you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they get to decide. I keep telling people all the time, like, you don't walk into somebody else's store and dictate the terms. They tell you the process of purchasing, the process of witnessing, how you got to pay, when you got to pay, all of that stuff, right? And everybody understands that when you go into the Apple store. Right? Nobody goes into the Apple store and tells, hey, yo, put this over here. I want to be able to pay like this. Yo, I see these laptops are cool. Do y'all got something in between? Create that for me. Like,
that's right.
Nobody thinks like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that some things, it's legit entitlement. And I just think that it's also just a lack of awareness because of how normalized these things are.
Yeah.
And so I believe the exact thing the kid said is like, there's pros and cons in each way. I built my own app. We built our own platform. I built my own studio. I built my own label. I built my own production company. I built my own garments, company. I built my own event coordination company. I built my own marketing company, right? There's things I wanted in my hood that weren't in my hood. We bought land. We began development. You know what I'm saying? All of that building ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people, you want to just go and buy a house that's already there. Some people, you just want to go to the studio. Somebody else runs it, right? And those things are ready for you. You don't have to pick up a nail and a hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just walk in and do what you got to do, right? But remember, you didn't pick up the nail and the hammer. And the guy who did gets to dictate how all of this happens.
Yeah.
That's the world, right? And so for me, it's like, we're talking about Spotify and their terms and all this other stuff and blah blah blah. I'm gonna be honest, bro. When that TOS came out, that update came out, and then I seen people trying to decipher what it meant. I just remember I hit up ChatGPT like, yo, what does this mean? I just remember reading through like half of its like answer and being like, okay, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time to go harder about this app than I ever have.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing is like Kid said, it's a challenge, and that's the thing that people don't realize that people, everybody's like, yeah, man, I'm just gonna build my own thing. That's cool. Yeah, but now you got to get people to choose your thing over the other thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta do all the
So
groundwork.
for some people, if it's not on Spotify, it don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
facts.
which
Yeah.
is wild.
Right. And that's the crazy thing about humanity right now. Everything is a click away.
Yep.
You're gonna invest thousands of dollars to get somebody to click on an icon that's less than an inch to the left.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what you got to do, right? It's like I can't tell you how many times we have to strategize on posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook. Hey guys, yes, we have music here, but if you want the more authentic experience of what we create, download the Unapologetic World app, right?
It's that attention economy you were talking about.
And that's it, right? And that's it. And guess what? The responsibility of getting somebody off of Instagram, off of Spotify, off of Apple Music, and into my app is all on us.
Yep.
It's all on me, right? I am not entitled to these people's opinion. I'm not entitled to these people's click a little bit to the left or to the right, right? I got to earn that, right? But these are all the things that are in the mix, right? That I've chosen that makes my life a little bit harder than if I was simply like, yo, check out my new song on Spotify. But where it is, we own it. You will never click on my app and have to deal with an algorithm, right? You will never see something strange from somebody you never heard of, or at least, not a part of our world, right? And then we can actually build with our community in our app in ways you just cannot do on social media.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're blessed and you have a team and somebody in it is a coder, oh my God. Have fun on what is possible, And, I think that, that there are pros and cons in each direction. What Kid said is absolutely true. Yeah. You just got to figure out who you are and what is success, right? Numbers on Spotify, honest, I'm going to be real. I want my numbers to look great everywhere. Who doesn't? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But numbers on Spotify will never mean more to me than downloads of my app. Never.
Because it's an investment.
Because I don't even know who. Yeah. It's just a number.
Right.
Spotify don't tell you who. They just tell you a number. How you going to build a career? How you going to build a fan base and you don't know nothing about them except for what city they in?
Yeah. That's real.
Like a city is a monolith. Hey man, you got 500 listeners in Vancouver. Oh, I know everything about them now because they're in Vancouver, because Vancouverans only show up in one way. No, you don't know anything about these people. Spotify hoards all the data. Instagram hoards all the data. Yep. Right? But if you build your own platform, you get to get your own data and you get to make informed decisions about building a career.
Yeah.
Right? You go from, I don't know how many followers who casually follow you to this many followers who will buy, who will support, who will share, who will get the t-shirt, who will get the physical, and they don't even have nothing to play the physical on, and they'll still buy it. To me, that's just way more valuable. And I don't understand anybody in this economy right now that feels like they got space to play with that, if I'm being honest. Y'all have fun with y'all 6 million streams and you made 7 cents.
No.
For me, I'm going to be real. 2025, 2026, it feels like an obvious, okay, it's officially time to tear down this industry with some level of mass exodus. And then we do to Spotify what happened to Netflix in 06, 07. We decentralize this bitch, right? That can't be the world no more. Right? That's been the world for the last 15 so years. Yeah. That's been the world, right? Now it's time to create the United States, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Where we all got our own governments, our own presentation. You know what I'm saying?
Because speaking to that, right, I really viewed a lot of these, because a lot of my understanding of commerce artistically comes from the visual art world. I link up with you, we shake hands, we have a show, right? Whatever the split is the split. 70-30, 60-40, it don't matter. It's fair. So watching it go from consumer side of music to the back end is really fascinating. And I like the way y'all think about it, because I still, unfortunately, view those things as gallery spaces that I've just made an agreement with. But the agreement is now constantly changing.
It is.
And that's the thing that's throwing me off. Like, I've been, without trying to blow my shit up before I really do it, I've been trying to figure out how to sell through the store I sell my art on, like the website I have for my artwork. Because the only thing that's stopping me is the delivery of files, right? Because I don't want you to be able to just listen to it before you know what I'm saying? I want you to have some teasers, right. But the way the store is set up is it's not designed for that. You know what I mean? It's designed for clicking a button, putting in some information, and we can start the shipping process of whatever it was you purchased. So, I don't know, I've always been thinking about that, but I never thought about it at the level you guys are thinking about it. And I think it is important that more artists think about it that way.
We got to jet, man, because it's time. Big shout out to Newbie. I seen she's performing at Cooper Young Fest. Pull up.
Which stage?
We'll talk about it off camera, because I love this, bro.
Roll with us when we pull up. Yeah.
Which one? Right there in front of Young Avenue, the Guarantee stage.
Guarantee
so the
stage.
Guarantee stage. Y'all pull up, man. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to my man Virgos who been in the chat while I haven't seen. Essentially Ghost is agreeing. You know, he dropped his latest project on Bandcamp solely, no Spotify, no Apple Music. You know, he understands. Just to follow what you were saying, Kang, like I really feel like you just got to think about it like career building.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's just a matter of like, are you trying to just do something quick or are you trying to build a career?
Yeah.
Building a career requires long-time investment, long-time infrastructure that will take time. Just like building a business.
Yeah.
Like most businesses do not turn a profit in the first 3 years. You know, and you got to look at it long-term. And for me, when I lost Unapologetic, I'm just sitting there thinking like, I'm not thinking about, just today or tomorrow. I'm thinking about long-term. I'm thinking about careers.
Yeah.
And I can't, I knew that the app would be dope when I built it. But like, I'm gonna be honest, in 2023, 2024, I realized I was ahead of my own thinking, right? Because that app has become so important to us 7, 8 years, 9 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't even see the importance of it back then. I'm so glad I took the time to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I don't have to start from zero, right? Now I'm just adding on spices. And we about to turn up on all that. So anyway, man, my name is I Make Mad Beats. You've been tuning in. This has been Type Beat, a podcast, a producer podcast here at Outer Space and Unapologetic Studio. My cast behind me.
LJ1S.
Kang.
Kid Maestro.
Man, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all be safe or stay dangerous. Do both or do neither. Peace.
Peace.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit. Here we go again.